actually say it's recording. There we go. Okay. So you guys are all currently on a ship you've appropriated.
Most of a ship.
Whilst
We stole it by killing thousands of people.
exactly. Whilst BB is currently controlling, or a fragment of BB at least is currently controlling the ship. What are the rest of you doing whilst you're still in? Like, I know you only made like a small jump, so it's not going to take long. But yeah,
I'm fairly sure the last thing I said was that I was walking towards engineering.
Okay.
I am hiding in the computer.
In the mech.
Oh, did everyone all of the like prisoners you guys took, they're sitting in one of the rooms, right? You put them all together.
Except for the 2 engineers in the room with
You
me.
specifically highlighted the rooms that had atmosphere
Yep.
conditions. And
Do we have that map still, or did you delete it?
I probably deleted. No, I probably archived it. Let me have a look.
Because if we had that, it'll just be easier.
Is it this one? If I restore you, will you be this? This thing that I need?
By the way, the mech's name is now Jeremy.
That's a good name for a mech.
Jesus, okay.
we found the fatal flaw in the canal ships. All we have to do is fire a railgun into the main hallway so that everything just fucking atmospheric compression.
All we have to do is just get a mech in it.
Okay, so so you had all the guys were now in like this room here, right? Was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Except the 2 in here with
yeah,
me.
that was my main question. Were the 2 engineers moved, or are they still sitting in the?
I mean,
No,
no
they're
one's
still
come
inside.
into my room yet. I'm assuming
got a
we're
chance.
starting off exactly where we left.
Yeah, pretty much. Like no time has passed.
So the engineers are still with me, and I'm making idle conversation with them, kind of like frantically.
Okay.
And I was in the mech walking towards the door.
And I'm chilling out at one of the unbroken terminals.
That door is now locked. As much good as that will do for me.
Okay.
And I'm fairly sure someone just killed someone.
Oh. So yeah, what's happening at the moment? Like, what are the rest of you doing?
Most of us are on the bridge. Mary is on the gunnery controls, checking for hostiles.
Yep.
I'm taking a nap. I don't need to fucking pilot anything.
I'm just sitting at one of the unbroken terminals, even though I have no idea what it does. So I'm just sort of looking.
buttons.
No, I'm not pressing buttons, but I'm just sort of staring at the screen. It like kind of flickers because there's like, I don't know, laser shot in the corner of it that just barely didn't break it.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea what anything on the screen means.
Caution, ship is on fire.
So is anyone doing anything of like import? Like anything that needs noticing? It's going to be like maybe, an hour.
Like, I
before
was
you-
marching towards the door that Zai's hiding behind. In
Okay.
the mech suit.
Sure.
Hiding's a really accusatory term.
You make it to the door. What do you do now?
We were hiding behind it.
Like, I actually forgot why I was marching towards it. Like, I know I was kind of...
It's because Zai's hiding shit from us. Me and Elijah basically got pissed about it, and somewhere along the line in the discussion, you started marching towards it after I said something. I don't remember what it was that I said though.
Yeah. Like, I have literally
I think
forgotten
I told
why
you
I
not
was
to
doing
as
it.
well.
What was that, sorry?
I think I told you not to as well.
Hmm. So, for now, let's ignore the fact that I was marching towards the door and just say I'm still in the hallway.
Okay. Sure. So
Zai
yeah.
is just very like alert of all the cameras and
Alright.
watching everyone and just kind of scared.
So for those of you sitting on the bridge, you hear like a faint musical sound playing through the bridge speakers.
What kind of song is it? Is it classical?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a faint like classical tune, orchestra and shit.
Is it the Canal National Anthem?
No, it's like a very like old piece of music that none of you probably recognize.
I definitely don't
I think
recognize it.
Classical to us could be something like Eminem or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no. This is like
if
this.
it's classical music, I might understand it.
Yeah, it's Let me find the actual piece because I have a. Actual piece
Bicycle
prepared.
is Justin Bieber.
No, it's
No,
not.
that's retarded.
That was
Yeah, but
banished to
I
the underworld.
Our classical would definitely be something like 20th century pop or something like that.
Somewhere along the line, the underworld was proven to exist.
Spice Girls. Hopefully. Hopefully it's Spice Girls.
Definitely Spice
All the
Girls.
time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I want.
But yeah, if any of you, if any of you like inquire towards the sounds, I'll link you when I find what the song is. But
I'm nowhere near the bridge, so I wouldn't hear it.
I don't care.
I just commend BB on their choice.
Yeah, Mary will get up and just go to Mr. Harper and be like, check the gunnery. I'll see where this damn sound coming from.
So I spin around the swivel chair a few times, and then I stand up, a little bit dizzy, but I'm kind of used to being jostled around, so it's not really too much. And I walk over.
Okay.
Right, Mary's gonna track this sound.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming from like every speaker in the ship. It's just like faint
Blue
music.
box.
Do we
Yes.
happen to have a DJ station in the brig?
Are you playing elevator
Or not the
music on
brig,
us?
the bridge.
I'm playing I'm playing a classical piece, you heathen. I wouldn't
Which
expect you
one?
to understand. I'm looking. I'm
All
not.
of them.
Google's not being cooperative. It's Beethoven. One thing or another.
That's such an easy throwback.
Who? What now?
It's not actually Beethoven, though. It's more of like a
dog.
computerized recreation.
Yeah,
of
it
Beethoven.
actually probably is. It isn't probably like an original recording because all this was lost. Like this is a a computerized like remake of Beethoven.
There's just simps everywhere.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you're right, baby. I don't understand.
he's like
Do you
then
have a Seventh Symphony, BB?
coming right up. The music like pauses for a second, and then like you hear like the sound effect of like an actual like an old like really old like record player like just lifting up,
Yeah.
puts it back down, and like you hear it go back down, and then yeah, it starts playing. Yeah, and then
Thank you.
this music just starts, this lulling music starts playing throughout the ship. It's beautiful. And yeah, if none of you are doing anything else like significant, you end up falling out of like jump space or whatever it's called in this game, slip space. Which one's Halo and which one's this? Let me check.
Spike space.
Spike space, sure.
Spike space?
Spike space.
Yeah, you fall out of spike space, and you are in an empty sector, or you are in an empty part of this sector. All of your kind of like nav readings are saying that you haven't moved sector. You're just in an area where there's nothing. I mean, it doesn't take much space to
To be
hide
nowhere.
a battle cruiser, right?
Yeah. So we're still in the same sector, so could we
Yep.
contact the captain?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think by now I probably would have walked to the bridge.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm sitting there. Like I just like how long would it take to get out of the mech?
like you would have got out of the mech in the time that you are there. Let me check.
Yeah, I
actual
probably just
rules
got out of
say.
the mech and left it in the hallway.
Well, it was like 1d4 rounds minus or plus like exosuit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
only
something
Just
like
like
that.
in
30
combat I got out
It was
with
like
this,
30 seconds to get in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it wouldn't have taken you long. Like you were in a like you were in like the travel for like maybe an hour.
Don't
just
forget all
under.
your weapons and armor in the.
Yeah, essentially I just got out of the mech and put all my normal stuff back on.
Okay. And yeah,
I
do
walked up to the bridge.
any of you go and get in contact with Captain Saren?
If no one else will, I will.
Once I see the request for, because I blocked all communication, I would open it up to make sure it's only going to our ship.
Yep, sure.
The second you open it, we'll just get spammed with help us.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Sure, yeah. You the message like connects. You can hear like the captain's like voice in the background. and you hear her say something along like, you don't catch all of it. Like Jordan, I guess I'll get you can roll like perception, I guess, to see how much of it you can kind of like make out from the background noise.
Wisdom or intelligence?
Probably wisdom.
If I can find it. Intelligence.
Oh, horrible.
I
I'll
guess
roll it
I'd
too. Apparently, I don't.
I'd be
know.
Yeah,
listening
no,
in
this is unless Vincent made any sort of like a request to stop it. This is playing through at least the bridge, so anybody who's on the bridge can roll.
Yeah.
I would be listening in on it because like I'm
You're monitoring computer channels, yeah.
yeah
None of us understand what was said.
wisdom, right?
I forgot how to use my ears again, guys.
Oh God.
Okay.
None of us heard anything.
So yeah, Elijah, you catch you catch
Like 4 words.
Admiral information, and that's probably about it. Like there isn't much there. Like it's kind of like you can hear more words. Like you can hear like a fluid conversation,
This
and all of a
garbled
sudden,
speech.
like yeah, there'll be like pauses. But the only 2 words you can really like pry out of it that you can really understand is Admiral and information.
Like,
And then yeah,
does the captain stop talking, or
no, if you're gonna interject, now would be a good time.
like I just like say over the speaker, Captain, we have captured the ship. What do you wish us to do?
Okay, you hear a like a short exchange, and then yeah, the captain's voice comes over more clearly. Well done, squad, and like you can kind of tell, like she sounds almost pissed off, like that she hasn't had a good day, but yeah, she says, "Well done, at least we got something good out of today." And then she looks at she there's a pause, and she says, "I have your coordinates. BB is sending them through. I can be there shortly. Wait one."
Will
Um,
do.
And then she says, "Look, are you in need of any medical assistance? Anything urgent?"
Not that I know of, but we do have prisoners.
Okay. We can deal with that. That's not a problem. We're
Also, I have a question. What happened with that ship?
the Vex ship that was in orbit.
Yes.
Well,
Because before we left, Zai started acting very strange.
I will explain when I'm there. Well, at least all I can explain. All we know for now is that after you blew up that shuttle, the ship jumped, vanished. That technology on board is beyond anything that we or the Canal have, or anything we saw in the war. It's something else. Like I said, I'll brief you when you're on board.
Okay, then we'll see you soon. Vincent out.
The comms just cut off.
Vincent out.
Are you guys like it's probably gonna take maybe like 40 minutes to an hour for the ship to arrive.
Alright,
And, like,
I'll check on the prisoners.
Continue making idle
Vincent
conversation
Lutz.
with the engineers.
What was that, sorry?
sure. So yeah, you open the door and they all kind of like cower back, away from the door. There's one of them
I'll
who
look
is like
after Mary.
yeah. There's one of them who's like the officer, one of the officers on the bridge. He kind of like stands up, and he says, "Do you speak their language?"
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he says in their language, he says, "We have rights, prisoners of war. What happened to our friend?" And says whatever his name is. Says a name, like Robert.
He's dead.
Wow, that's
Brutal.
That's
He
it's really blunt.
you can hear it. So you say, what language do you say that in?
Canal. I have
Okay.
metal linguistics.
Yeah, the rest of the people like on the bridge, or the rest of the people in this room, kind of like shy back even more. And the officer like takes like a small step back and like mutters like monster.
I have an urge to, but I'm not going
Maybe
to. I have
so.
an urge to say like,
But I'm
well,
not
so was the
looking to
city.
kill anyone else.
No, what's the sorry? Say again, Jake.
I said maybe so, but I'm not looking to kill anyone else. Cooperate and you'll all be fine. I don't think you'll be able to go home, but you'll all be okay for now.
Yeah, he doesn't respond to that.
Stab me in the tits, why don't you? We have like 20 prisoners.
Not even 20.
I check them all for injuries.
Okay, they are like reluctant to let you know.
I still go near.
Okay. Yeah, none of them are like visibly.
You were shanked in the spleen.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand outside the door, basically.
So yeah, after a short while, like the sensors on the bridge picks up 2 more ships, that have come into orbit, and one of them, which is like the request is titled like the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
One of them like requests like comms to the ship.
Is that our ship's name?
That's
Yes.
the ship your guys are stationed to.
The ship we're currently on doesn't have a name.
No, it was not finished.
I rename it to the Badass.
No, it's just the name of the banana.
I allow the comms to go through.
Okay. So does anyone actually like openly accept the comm? Because like there's
Sure.
I'm not on the bridge.
basically for people who are on the bridge,
I'm in
there's,
there,
there's,
so-
there's a blinking
Yeah,
panel
there's
that's
people
like
on the
flashing.
Yeah, I think me, Eliza, and Andrew would
I'm
be
on
on
the
the
bridge.
bridge. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you accept the
it's all mine.
comms, and the captain's voice comes through. He says, "I've brought a crew to man the ship. Prisoner exchange is the first order of business. Get them to the shuttle bay. We'll be sending ships."
Very well. We have
I-
one shuttle, but it's badly damaged.
That's fine. We have shuttles.
Okay.
I
Is it
come over
damaged?
to I come over to Vincent.
I thought
I
there was
suggest
an-
we take them to the bay we came in on.
Yeah,
Not
wasn't our
the
shuttle
other
damaged,
one.
or was that just a joke? Not joke, I'm lying.
I look over and I go, you mean the one with 4, 5, or 6 people plastered against the ground as paste?
Yes.
Didn't you kill
Yes.
people in both hangars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less
Okay.
people in the other one though.
Alright,
There's
yeah.
not just, you know,
Here is just full
an
of
exploded
blood.
fire and shit.
Yep.
This
Alright.
thing here is literally just full of blood. So yeah, like I guess we like start marching in towards this hangar.
So yeah, they go willingly. I can't remember if you killed anybody in the hallway. I feel as if you probably did.
Yeah,
we
Um,
killed
person,
one
I know I
person.
but he's
killed
dead
people
there and
here.
I'm further away from where they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they see that, they kind of they look like more appalled.
I remember that Vincent last week or the week before said he moved all the bodies into one hangar.
Like I just moved all the bodies I could find in this hangar.
There'll be blood all over the floor though, especially from drag marks.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, there'd be
And
blood
body
everywhere, but
parts,
at least there's no
because
bodies.
most of them were killed with the mech.
Yeah. So this hangar literally has like a lake of blood in it at the moment.
Okay, so I'm guessing you're taking them to the other hangar, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You just find a
even that
wet
one will still
floor
have loads of
sign
blood on it.
in some janitor closet and put it in front of the hangar door.
Sure. So yeah, you lead them there, and I guess you watch them until the shuttle arrives. Like there's a moment where like a request, like basically a docking request, lights up on one of the panels inside the hangar. I'm assuming one of you goes and accepts that. The hangar doors like open up, and yeah, the dropship like maneuvers its way inside.
Through the air bubble.
Yeah, and like a couple of armed, they're just like standard kind of Marines, hop out and like gesture the people, the officers like on like the remaining crew members basically on board.
At
Zai,
this
have
point,
you?
I would.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say at this point, once they get in, because like Zai doesn't. He doesn't know these people very well, so he's still concerned that he might be at risk. So once this shuttle lands, he comes in with the 2 people, who I'm assuming follow pretty silly.
Yeah. Yep, they'll follow
Yeah,
you.
you guys have just become best friends in there.
I mean, I'm assuming I know their names.
Sure.
Oh yeah, Liam, I'd be awake by now for sure. Like after they
I
do
imagine
all
so, yeah.
this, I would have woken up at some point, hopefully.
Imagine one of them would have woken you up, yeah.
We did.
Also, within that, while we were in Spike Space, could I have downloaded the ship's information?
Like from the
information.
Like, it's all the data on, like, its schematics and, like the data it had.
The schematics would be the ship itself, but yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's not difficult. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I just put that onto my compad, or my data slab.
Yeah, and then you lead these two people into the how do any of you react when you see Zai walking into the? Do any of you react at all when you see Zai walking into the?
American wave.
I'm probably just glaring
Oh.
at him.
Well, yeah. I see him walk in. Immediately, I whip out my stun baton, crack it off, and turn it on. I don't do anything other than that, but I still pull it out and make sure it's on.
Okay, so yeah, the Marines are
away.
kind of like gesturing, like they're like gesturing for the people to get on whilst like eyeing you guys, like, whilst eyeing Aaron with his stun baton out.
Aaron, Andrew.
My face is off at this point.
Oh, I'd probably be checking out the mech, seeing how much room we have left in the cargo, seeing where we could put that.
Okay. Was your dropship damaged at all? I can't remember.
No,
No,
no.
not really.
No.
It might have some blood on it.
Aaron
that's pretty much
skillfully
it.
dodged the missile.
Yeah,
into
I
the-
Yeah, that's right,
dodged the
that's
missile.
right.
I don't know if we got hit by anything else.
Yeah, no, that
We
dropship's
pretended
still
we were
fine.
hurt.
So yeah, you have
Yeah, we just faked it.
the dropship that you like are currently in. Well, the dropship that the prisoners are currently being loaded into. That's gonna be pretty full, but like you have an entire dropship, just you guys.
I go with the prisoners.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Just
he's
trying to
good.
hold
I
on,
like
we just
that plan.
grab you.
I go with the other guards.
No, you don't.
We grab you whenever
walk
you
in-
try to leave.
No.
I go to get into that ship.
Okay,
American
one
just
of
fuck
the-
you.
You go to get into the
One
ship
of one of the
with
Marines.
prisoners?
Yeah, one of the Marines steps in front of you. He says, "No, sorry, sir. You're destined to another ship."
I just
Yeah.
nod. It's a pained nod.
Come over here,
Go
Si.
on,
Come
Zai,
on,
we'll go.
lad.
I walk towards the other ship then, and I just sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, I'm doing the stereotype thug thing, where I'm just sort of like tapping part of the stun baton in my other hand, obviously keeping the actual part that stuns off of my hands.
I was about to
If
say.
my face were on, I would roll my eyes at you.
Accidentally stunned self. But yeah, so you work that out. The prisoners are loaded up. The Marines like close up the thing. Just before it does, one of the Marines who has like sergeant stripes on his uniform, he kind of gestures to you. He says, "Orders from up high. You guys get in the other drop ship. Head back to your own ship. The crew to take this one will be here shortly."
Works
I
for
say
us.
I say to take care of insert names here of the two people.
Sure. Okay.
Take care of Bob and Bob.
Take care of the Bobs.
They both called Bob.
Yeah.
Twins, and
He
their parents were
like
just
as he
really
like turns to like walk into the ship, and like the ramp starts to close, you hear something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, they'll be real safe."
2 weeks later, you find their bodies hanging from in the middle of space.
Again, if my face were on, I grimace. But it isn't.
Also, you'll at least get the rashes, it looks like.
But yeah, that ship ramp closes, powers up, and starts heading back towards the secondary ship. If any of you if you've moved on to the like before you guys move on to the like center screens, BB's voice comes over the speakers, says, "Well, I'm probably about to delete myself from this ship. Is there anything you need before I leave?"
One coffee.
Very funny, meatbag. You're the one with hands.
No.
I thought this show was automated. This is an outrage.
Yeah. So
Somebody
he says,
trying to get a new AI, one that can make coffee.
So he says, "Sure. see you back on the Inquisitor, and then goes quiet.
Also, does the mech have external control so I can just like make it go onto the ship?
It does, and I would be if you're not in it, I would assume you want it, so I've walked it onto the ship.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool, and then you guys load up onto
Then
the
guys,
dropship.
get on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, just head back.
Cool. So Aaron, you hop into the pilot seat and power up the engines. Flying out, you on your like kind of sensor screens, you see like the three larger radar blips of the three bigger ships. You see the one dropship that's heading towards one of the ships, and you see one dropship that's heading away from the same ship and then towards this ship. And then yeah, you guys are heading for the Inquisitor.
Can we tell what the other ship is? Like, what's its name?
The other ship. This is when I don't have my random generator up.
The Bob.
Yep.
If anyone wants to suggest a name, they can go for it while I try and look this up.
The
Okay,
potato.
so this is what we see. We're looking through the view screen at the other ship trying to find the name. And we see some letters sort of like bolted onto the side and just like the patches where there were other letters.
It's called the Dauntless.
Or as it actually says, the
This is our ship. This is our friendly ship, not the ship
Yeah.
we just got off.
This is the friendly ship that has the Dauntless.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So yeah, what do you guys? So you fly off towards the Inquisitor. You dock without a problem. Like you have a friendly AI who's helping you dock. It's not a big deal. And a skilled pilot. So really not that difficult. And yeah, the
And we still
Just
mess it
driving
up.
that.
and you still die horribly.
Somehow it just flips over, just landing pads just demagnetize entirely. We slide across the hull.
You'll die in a flaming wreckage. It's terrible. Time to roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do
And
you?
then the spike drive explodes.
Yep, and the Inquisitor goes up too. It's terrible. Okay, so yeah, what do you guys do now? You're home sweet home.
I look for my dog, dude. I haven't seen that dog in days.
It's dead. BB got defeated.
I walk towards the captain. I just pull up the life signs, like the.
I would assume the
tracker thing.
captain's in the bridge.
Yep, she's on the bridge.
Yeah, I got
I
that.
mean, yeah, I go towards there.
There, yeah, and like as soon as you like arrive back on the ship when the ramp drops, BB's like blue box like floating avatar appears in front of you and says to the bridge, meatbags, welcome home.
BB, unload the shuttle. Store the mech somewhere, please.
Sure, I can do that.
I'd assume
That's
there's like
when
a
BB
thing for
goes
that in
on
the
a
ship.
killing rampage.
Yeah.
Even though it's not necessary, I send BB the sufficient information so they can more easily control the mech.
I'd assume this is like an arm that reaches into the shuttle.
Yeah, so you guys head up towards the bridge and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, are waiting for you there. The captain's standing there, kind of like arms folded behind her, looking into a view screen. One of the like view screens. It's displaying the like the time to fleet arrival, and it's hitting about 19 hours.
So it's literally just a big countdown.
Yeah, and it's got like different readouts on like the planet you just left, like what's happening there, and yeah, all sorts of stuff.
So I just imagine it's the countdown timer from 24.
Every
when we
countdown
walk
timer
into the
ever is the
room-
countdown timer for 24.
When we walk into the room, I say, what is the civilian casualties?
Without turning, she just says 48% losses.
Not as
Sorry,
bad as
what-
I thought it would be.
48.
48% losses, yeah.
Okay. I just shake my head.
So, Captain, how badly did we screw up?
Well, and this is where she turns. You didn't. You accomplished the mission.
Exactly.
You got rid of their shipbuilding facilities, and that was primary objective. You succeeded. The mission, however, was not as simple as I would have liked it to have been.
Yeah.
Complications
mention-
arose.
Most of those complications was Zai's fault.
Explanations are needed there, Captain, please.
She nods. She says, I know. I've just been on the phone getting my own explanations. And trust me, it's not easy to whine information out of the Admiral. And then she turns, she kind of like flicks across a view screen, and you see like basically reconnaissance photos that have been taken like from like cameras on the Inquisitor's hull of the ship. She says, the ship in orbit, the exterior and what sort of signals it was giving off originally over Vex design, they... And she kind of gestures. Do many of you remember much about that war?
I
She
nod.
kind of like looks around and says, most of you would have been too young.
Most of the what? Sorry, you cut out.
She says, most of you would have been too young to remember
Yeah.
anything about the war.
It was like 130 years ago. We'd be
The war ended
Still-
65 years ago.
65 years ago, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure none of us were born then.
Yeah,
Still.
Come on.
Yeah, she says,
Fun fact: Zai is also a time traveler.
she kind of like gestures to you like Elijah. She says, your studies at the academy, like whatever sort of like basically the officer academy, they would have told
Yeah.
you like the basic information about it during that sort of studies. The rest of you probably only know what you've heard from
Alright.
like holovids,
I was
like
at Psychic Academy. I would've
documentaries and
watched
shit.
it, though.
But yeah, it was basically a alien race that was attempted to wipe out all of humanity. A race that, and this is more what Elijah would know than the rest of you. Like the rest of you know, it was a war against like a few alien races that were all trying to kill humans, and that's pretty much the extent of it. Like maybe you know a couple of details of like famous encounters.
That's all we really need to know anyway.
Yeah, Elijah, you know more that the Vex race itself isn't that strong. They relied on like other races and species to do stuff for them. Their main power was military, like they're a very strong race. But like their technological sides were all done by other races. All of their sort of like home stuff, like farming and agriculture, was all done by like races that were brought into their service through religion mostly.
Yeah.
So they brought in all of these people to follow their religion, and those who wouldn't follow were basically like attacked and bullied into joining
It's
their
the
covenant.
fucking Reapers.
Yeah, man, the Reapers / the actual covenant from Halo /
Shit.
Yeah, I was about to say there
Where's
is
the
Something
blue
like that
shit?
shit.
You can give me 3 endings to this war.
yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so you know that humanity was targeted because or from what we know, the Vex saw humanity as a very honorless race, and a race of like non-believers and people they couldn't turn. So they just decided to try and wipe them out instead. You also know that since the end of the war, the Vex and a lot of the other alien races just disappeared from the sector. Like they just vanished. They either left sector, were hunted down, or something. They're gone. And this is actually probably the first sighting, or the first known sighting of a Vex ship since like the mass exodus.
The first sighting that people actually believed because it wasn't crazy space hillbillies.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so she says, on first inspection, the ship looks to be Vex, but looking closer, and she pulls up kind of an overlay of tech and stuff like that, with different readings and measurements and all that sort of stuff. The ship is giving off very different signals. Signals we've never seen before. There was a race. I need to pull up their name. Probably gonna
I just mumble something about. See, this is why we need better scanners.
It says, she says, the Velron, they were the ones in charge of the Vex's technology during the war. The ship is giving off similar signals to what we know of the Velron, but different still. Not exactly right. The Velron, they require suits to live. The atmosphere outside of their home planet is toxic. These
Glad
suits
that's lie.
give off very particular signals. Signals we've learned to track. It's the way we kept our hands up in the war. The way we weren't entirely wiped out.
When
This
she
ship-
says suits, Vincent just starts glaring at Zai.
Okay. She continues, this ship
I ignores.
didn't have any of those signals on board. We checked. The second we saw Velron signals, we checked. The suits aren't there.
Can we assume this is a captured ship?
It's a good assumption. It's better, as good as any we have.
Could they not simulate their home planet's atmosphere within the ship?
They can, but they still need to have the suits on board.
And
Even
I
if-
guess even just the general proximity sets off the alarms, whatever.
The suits are always activated, self-maintaining, looking after themselves. That's
Glad that Zai
process. That process.
Did I cut out or did Jay? Mate.
What was that?
Still there. Did someone cut out?
No,
No.
No.
you lied for a
Okay,
bit.
that was just me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, she says there's something else, something that I only learned of very, very recently. And she looks towards Mary. She says, "How much do you know of your grandfather?"
He was a bit crazy. After
He founded a mercenary company, correct?
he did. It's still up there.
It's very successful, so I hear. So successful, in fact, that they were employed by the Natashan government to hunt down the remaining Vex and Velron. Anyone who was an easy target. The Natashan government wanted to weaken these species, weaken them so they were no longer a threat, so they couldn't come back. This, and so I've recently learned, was a paid excursion by the Natashan government. Your grandfather's murder, that was 666, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, the 666 were employed secretly. Their exploits not widely known. They hunted down and murdered thousands. Thousands. Even after the peace treaty.
My grandfather, he kind of didn't find peace. It wasn't particularly suitable for him.
Sounds like a fun guy.
Zai looks at Mary. There's no expression because his thing's off, but he just looks at Mary.
Beneath his face, he's just like looking like he wants to fuck her or something.
Exactly.
Mary just kind of furrows her brow. She's like, hey.
So, yeah, she kind of like gestures to you. She says, "I have more, but first, questions, answers you need."
I pretty much just turned to Zai. Zai, what happened down there is what I want to know. Why did you start acting like the way you did? And why was the information fed to you first, then not to us?
Yeah, the captain pipes up. She says, "I can explain that." Subject matter
Please do.
expert. Zai was rebuilt past anything that we can manage. Zai was rebuilt by the Velron. It's their technology that keeps him going.
Wait, how old is he then?
I don't know. That's a question
I'm
for him.
96.
What was that, sorry? You got out.
I
Oh,
am
it is?
96 years old. Captain, I don't. My orders are going against this, but I don't believe that this mission can continue in the same. I don't believe that I can be trusted without the full truth.
She like inclines her head and gestures towards you.
Oh, I'm going to get so much
By the
shit
way,
for this.
her she looks quizzical.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. After Zai Zai look at. Huh. I am 96 years old. That is true, though he's staring. My name is not Zai. My full name is
Steven?
Thako Zyga Vintix Trahom Ron Ilian.
We'll call
I-
you Zai.
I'm sticking with
Mo-
Zai. I can't say
most-
that.
People call me Zyga. That
Zai will do.
either or, I will respond to both. My first name is you use them as Zyga. I am not human.
No shit.
I was ordered, or not ordered. I was asked by my Natashan, my version of the Natashan Navy, to be put under the command of the UNN, and to do as they ask. And I
Why?
have done so. Why? Because the war between the humans and the vets, as you call them, destroyed relations between my people and yours. Before the war, none of you will remember this, of course, there was open trade between my race and yours. After the war and during it, the Vex destroyed this, and
I
we
assume
hope
that your race is the race of that ship that was there.
the Valeron, yes.
Yes, I don't know names.
Zai removes his helmet. Yeah,
And he
so
does.
no. So what you guys see is just like a scaled blue face, very reptilian like.
What the hell are you?
Large blue eyes. I have a picture, but I'm not. It's like big face plates and little frills.
So I assume this is the first time we've seen, and all of us are actually seen any form of alien.
In
Liam,
the
Yeah,
flesh.
very
probably.
very much so. Yeah.
like in the flesh.
What's the captain's response to this?
She's kind of standing there, like arms crossed. Seems slightly taken aback.
Vincent has his hand on his laser pistol.
Oh,
Okay.
Mary just kind of grins and she's like, "You certainly know how to keep things interesting, lad."
Andrew has taken about 10 steps back and is currently working on reloading his mag pistol as quickly as possible.
I say, I ask her, I say, Blue Box, did you know this? Did you scan him at all?
BB says, "One moment." And like his avatar's like in the room. It like fades slightly.
Yeah.
And then opens back up. He says, "Captain, I need code. I think some sort of access to a part of my database that I'm locked out of. The Admiral, maybe?" The captain nods. Says, "Wait one, BB. I'll see what I can do." And a link opens. and you hear a like elderly female voice like come through the speakers. It says, "Ah, yes, the
Yeah,
captain.
that was a bitch.
What can I do for you?" She says, "BB says he needs codes, something to unlock part of his memory. We've had a," she smirks, "revelation on board. New information that I believe BB would need." There's a pause. "Ah, yes. Sending it through now. BB, accept the incoming file." And the link
Suddenly
cuts.
BB goes rogue and kills us all.
And you hear like the light like dims again. And a projected he projects like a little message, like a sealed letter. And it like flies in, opens up in front of him like a piece of paper, folds out, goes inside the box, and you just hear, "Well, shit. You may want to look at this," and he projects the file up onto the screen. And yeah, it's like basically a document that confirms pretty much everything Zai just said.
So like we actually had so the Natasha actually had information on Zai beforehand, I'm guessing, or
Like they have like the document. If you kind of skim through it, it says it has like basic information on the Velron race, and it has like his transfer orders, and a small write up that's at the bottom, like there's a letterhead, or the top there's kind of a letterhead that says like word documents. It says Admiral Alexander, and the state like on the top, and yeah, it has a basic overview of basically saying that it kind of goes as follows. It says the Velron are a dangerous race. They created the technology for the Vex during the war. As much as I would love to have them on our side, I believe they can't be trusted. I don't believe many people outside of humanity can be trusted. We need to build relations with Valron, in hopes that I am wrong. I can always be wrong. And then it kind of there's a black bar that covers all of the probably about a paragraph of text, and then it just says it has like Zai's full name there that he said before.
I can say it again if you want.
Go for it.
Thaco Zyga Vintex Trahom Thra Ilian. Thran Ilian. I can't say it.
Yeah.
where did
Just
you
write
get
it
this
down.
name from?
Don't expect us to
Right.
do that.
Yeah. There's
Write it down.
there's
Zai
that
says it perfectly.
that says there.
Zai can't even say his own name.
And
It's been
yeah,
so long.
it basically just confirms everything that Zai just said. So that he's here on a basically relation building mission between the Velron people and the and humanity. That he is to experience our war in hopes that his people can be convinced to help.
Also, when he took his helmet off, everyone would have noticed the next words he would have said, like there's a more vibration to them. No, like it's subtle. It's like more subtle, but there's a like it, and his voice sounds more natural now. Like it's not being
Modulated.
yeah, pretty much.
I actually turned to Zai. Question: how the fuck are you breathing right now? Don't you need that suit?
And that's when he dies as he realizes, oh yeah!
The
What a great way
humans.
to end the card that would be.
And roll credits.
I did message Liam right before I took
Yep.
the helmet off, just clarifying that they do not die when they just to make sure I
we don't
just
do that.
Yeah, it's not an instant thing. There's like a drowning thing.
Zai. First of all, Zai, when he reads the letter, he smirks. Or what an alien reptile smirk would be.
His
I-
mandibles twitch.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Why couldn't you be
I have a
alien
picture.
that
Where's the?
clicks?
I've got a picture.
Yeah, we need the
It's not
picture,
what-
dude.
Find the picture.
I probably still have it somewhere. Let me check.
I would send the entire. It's a lot of text though. I couldn't find a good ribbon race that didn't look gross, so I used the ones from Mass Effect. The
Syrians.
no,
No.
not them. They're like good people. The
Krogan?
what's No,
Yeah.
What, the Solarian?
No.
not Solarian.
Fuck. What's it?
The blue ones.
I think he's an assassin in the
the-
game. Mass Effect 2. He's a side
Drell.
character. Drell.
Yeah.
The
Thane
girl.
Krios. The Drell.
Yes, Drell.
Yeah, the Drell. Do you know? Yeah, the Drell that Liara.
Oh, they have mouths then. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
That's
I know
what
what
he
you're talking
looks
about.
kind of like them. He's a
Okay,
blue
okay.
Hey,
one.
you
Now
can
I got
smile
a
now,
picture in
yeah.
my head.
Yeah, they have
fair.
facial features.
If you just
pretty-
Google
blue.
Drell, you'll find them.
Yeah, just Google blue Drell.
Okay, yeah,
So
I got
it's-
you. Yeah,
There's
okay.
like more purple and like turquoise in his face.
That guy.
That's. It might be the actual.
But instead of dying slowly over the course of their entire life, you die instantly, basically.
I was gonna go with that picture, but it was too angry.
I love
Anyway,
the Drell. They're awesome.
I just love the
Well, I love Fane.
Yeah,
You love
Thane
Thane.
is awesome. Thane
Yeah,
is
you love Fane, not the
Thane
Drell.
is a
amazing. Anyways,
Um,
moving away from Mass Effect. Yeah.
To the question of how do I breathe, he taps his like throat, and he says, every Valorant that is expected to leave our home planet of sorts is implanted with a cybernetics that change the breathable oxygen of whatever atmosphere we are in into our own breathable mix. That means that I can survive on any planet with a known breathable oxygen, known breathable atmosphere. Without that's why I am not suffocating right now.
By the way, as he's
I,
explaining all of this, Andrew, still 10 paces back with his mag pistol in hand, just looks fascinated, but also
Look, I
a
still haven't
little
taken my
bit of
hand off my
terrified.
pistol. Yeah.
I walk over to Zai, like as in hand distance away from Zai,
Yeah.
and I hold out a hand to him.
The shake.
Yeah, you could assume that.
No, it's a strangle.
But does it look like what someone would
Yes,
look like if they?
yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he shakes your hand.
As soon as you move to shake it, I hug you.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's cute.
that wasn't
he-
what I
And
thought
then
would
he
happen.
And then,
flinches,
and
but he
then,
doesn't.
but then I also just say, like quietly,
You whisper.
yeah. Well, not so much whisper, but I do say it quietly. It's just thank you, and then I just move away, but not
he,
far away.
He frowns slightly, but it goes back to a normal. Well, for him, normal face. And I would like to start this off with a clarification on behalf of my people that we did not join that war willingly. We were, well, our homeworld of sorts was held hostage. We had no choice. The technology we built for the Vex was, well, rudimentary. It wasn't amazing. We are capable of much more. We built what they already had. We regret this. Our my people are. We detest war. It goes against our very nature. I apologize for the part we had in that war.
I say to the captain, I'm like, point at Zai like to my side, I'm like, that, and I gestured like towards his face, and I'm just like, the way he talks is the reason you can't keep shit from us. But like a small smile on my face, like, he stutters too much and it makes it really awkward.
she
I'm
laughs.
I now assume it's a grasp of the English language for his alien race, but god damn, it's awkward in a stressful war situation.
She laughs. She says, I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming. I guess there's something we all learned today.
I frown at the captain. How did you? Why did? What? How? He mutters something in a different language. He mutters something in a completely different language. I'm glad that my awkward stammerings have proven to be picked up.
Oh yeah.
She
Yes.
I always just assumed that he was just socially awkward, but now I understand why.
she
he after stammering for a while, I assumed you would have been aware of the situation, Captain. I have met you once before for the debrief. Why were you not aware?
That's a question I think I need to ask the Admiral. But for now, Zai, maybe you should talk to a historian. I'm sure they'd be fascinated by your true tale
Hello.
of events.
I would say we should leave that for another time.
She nods. I know. Just making a comment.
Briefing over, Captain.
It is. I'll get back to you with our mission later. I think we'll need time to unwind.
Before we finish, I would also like to apologize for the lies. I guess you would call them, but
Avoiding the truth is more of the thing. It wasn't exactly lines. I had to give you that.
they were my orders, and a soldier followed their orders.
Vincent turns to Zai and says, I understand your meaning, but I'm sorry, I cannot trust you at the moment. I know that you tried telling us the truth, and what you have is like letting us know as much as you have. I still cannot trust you fully.
Zai nods. If you have any further questions, Vincent, please don't refrain from asking. I will reveal as much as I can. I also have a file for you, all of you, and he sends across this file that I will send to you in the group's thing that is PDF'd that you can read whenever you guys want, if you want. Video files.
Before Elijah leaves, because she assumes the briefing is over now.
Yep.
Before she leaves, she just says, "You're all gonna have to report to medical when I call for you. Pre-mission checkup, post-mission checkups, and all that. Especially the ones I had to heal. I need to make sure I heal everything right."
BB BB chimes in. Yes, it's helpful to know you didn't put a liver back where our lung should be.
Hey, there was a time in the academy where I healed someone's bone the wrong way. That wasn't fun.
I'm not even going to ask.
It doesn't put everything back right.
Vincent just says, if there's nothing else,
Just heals the damage.
I'll be off. And just walks off out of the room.
Yep.
As I leaves, he looks at Mary and he says, I told you I'd keep things interesting. And then he just goes back to his room.
So yeah, the captain leaves too. And we see a scene of her like in her like day cabin. And BB like shows up. And you see we hear BB say, Saren, it is best not to judge the Admiral. She does what she does because she needs to. It is decisions like this you'll have to make when you're head of military intelligence. The captain says, she kind of like shakes her head. She says, I know, BB, it's just... I was in the field too, once. I know that information like that can cost lives. BB says, and a lot of decisions you are going to have to make as head of intelligence are going to cost more lives. It is something you're going to have to live with. And the captain says, I guess you're right, BB. I guess you're right. And yeah, she powers on a display screen in front of her and starts typing down some shit. And that's, I reckon, a pretty decent time to take our first break.
Works for me.
Yep.
Pilot to Liam. Again.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go real quick, go refill my drink, and I'll be back in a couple minutes.